tell me, what was your childhood like?
Mm, I actually thought a long time about what I would tell here. Um, and I thought it would be the best to just be completely honest because I think that's the most authentic way and the most honest way um, to tell how life really is.
Mm-hmm.
And my childhood was very, very sad. It was very depressing. Um, Like I was living the first 7 years with my grandma.
Okay.
She already beat the crap out of me, but at least she gave me some kind of attention or love, like um, the best she could do because she already lived in a children's home. So there's a kind of cycle. Then when I was 7, my stepdad told my mom that like they had a argument, they had a fight, and he blamed her that she isn't even capable of caring for me because she was like 19 when I was born. Um, and yeah, like I don't know, like she probably she hated my real father, so she didn't want to care about me, and then yeah, they had this fight, my stepdad and my mother, and um, yeah, like then they put me to them. Like my mom just put me out of my grandma's home. Like my grandma was super sad. She didn't want to let me go.
Hmm.
Um, and then we moved 800 kilometers away
Oh, wow.
from that place. So there was just simply it was simply a whole new part of my life. Like I was just cut out from there. Mm, and my mom and my grandma also didn't have a good relationship. So it's kind of a reoccurring cycle in my family that every um, parent part and the child part that they um, can't get along with each other.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then my mother, like I just realized it in the last years that my mom was drinking at the time. Like when you are young, um, like she's very good at hiding stuff. She was always drinking at a spot of our big house where nobody sees her, and I already smelled her smell, but as a child you don't know what is that
Yeah.
smell. It was just disgusting. So I thought, okay, what is that? And then yeah, she also started to beat at me like super hard, and my stepdad was never there because he was on business traveling. So she was drinking, and all her frustration, she let it out on me. And then when I was 15, on my 15th birthday, like my aunt came to visit us, and she just saw that my mom was drinking, and that she even was beating me on my 15th birthday. And she, like my aunt, then went to the German government institution for children that need help.
Hmm.
And then a couple of months later, they came into my school and asked me a few things. And of course, didn't want to get my mom in trouble. So I said, yeah, everything is fine. Like, um, it's it's pretty common that kids get slapped sometime. Like I was saying that I was the one to blame because my mother her entire life told me that I'm the one to blame. Like,
Yeah.
yes, like there was one thing I will always remember. Like she was beating the crap out of me, and like really with her fists in my face, on my nose. My nose was bleeding. My entire face was like that. You know, when you have on your face the mix of blood and tears and
Yeah.
everything, and I was so paralyzed in that moment. And then she was done with me, and I mean that wasn't even the most painful part. The most painful part was that when she was done with me, she came back, looked at me, and said, "No, wash yourself. Go in the bathroom and wash yourself." Like she was even, I don't even know, like she was even giving me, like blaming me that I was the one to blame, that she beat the crap out of me, and then like go wash yourself and like get ready for the next time when I can beat you. Like that was, I don't know, it was very psychological warfare what she also did to me. Like I think one question of you was one conversation with my parents that I can remember. But to be honest, there's not a single conversation with my mom where she was nice to me and
Okay.
really talked to me. It was like it was only shouting, blaming. It was just it was super painful. Like the entire like 8 years I was living with my mom, it was psychologically traumatizing. Like when I was 14, I asked her, "Can you just be one time nice to me?" And she said, "No, I'm not nice anymore to you." Like this, then when I was 15 and I came into the children's home, there she still wanted to blame me, and she wanted to blame me so hard for being the bad guy that
Mm.
she got me to a psychiatrist to get a test. I don't know, to get the proof that I'm the bad one. Um, and she um like I was living at the children's home, and for the appointment, she had to get me from there and driving me to that place because it was out of reach for the children's home. And then she got me in a car, and then I told her happily that we made a test in school, like these stupid AI tests where you click check boxes, and they tell you what kind of job you get.
Yeah.
And and my stepdad was actually nice when he was there. He just wasn't there. So he was a nice guy. So I was looking up to him. And I happily told her um, that I got the same result as him, like what he was like. What was he? I can't remember the name. What is? Um, I can't remember what.
Okay.
Like something of like it was very important, and you have to be very smart to do this. And I was pretty proud, and I told my mom, and on the way to the psychiatrist. And then she like I was sitting behind, and she was driving, and then she looked at me, screamed at me, and told me, "No, you will never be like your stepdad," and told me that I'm probably like that I'm worthless, kinda. And then we had to go to the psychiatrist, and I still had my tear, and I cried the shit out of me on the drive, and
Oh.
I still had the tears in my face. And then I was sitting with the psychiatrist, and they were testing me on an IQ, and I still had the tears in my face, and had to do this IQ test. Like there were tears on the IQ test that I had to do. Like that was the definition of traumatizing.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty hard. Like so you like I'm telling you this so you get kind of picture of how it was, what she did to me, like psychological warfare.
Yeah. Now, you said your stepdad was absent but nice. Did you ever have like any good memories with your stepdad or not really?
Um yeah, the thing is he is nice, but he's also cold. Like when I
Okay.
say nice, it's like he doesn't beat me. Like
Okay.
it's like even when he was there, he was most of the time absent because he's just a guy that is working nonstop in his head, and so yeah, there was like we went one time into a museum or one time to a football game like that. There were some couple of good memories, but like not that many in these eight
Yeah.
years.
So then what do you think since your childhood to now, what do you think has been the best part of your life or the part that you have had the best memories in?
Like in my entire life, or
Yeah. Mhm.
I would actually say it sounds weird, but I think now is the best time in my life.
Hmm.
Um, my music is blowing up. I mean, it could be more, but it's paying my rent. So I'm finally at a place where I wanted to be 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I worked my way to the point where I feel the best right now. But yeah, I would say it's now.
So then what was your childhood the worst part, you think?
I think the worst part was actually the exact the exact time when my mom was stealing me from my grandma, and then like I was living in Lübeck, and Lübeck was like 250,000 people living there,
Yeah.
and then we went to Bavaria, like 800 kilometers away, and it was a village, a small village, like 300 people, 400 people, and it's also like in Bavaria, like in deep Bavaria, they are talking with a very big accent. So I was coming there, I had no friends, and I barely could understand them. Um, so it was like a whole new world, and like I missed my grandma
Hmm.
because my mom was just not really caring for me, and I think that was the worst time, like the beginning of that new life. Like I would, I would say my childhood is um how's it called? Has three parts. Like the first time with my grandma, then with my mother, and then in the children's home. Because the children's home was actually very, very nice. It was
Oh,
very, very good. Like when I came there, um, I woke up, and then like when I was in the children's home, I woke up just on a normal regular day. I came into the kitchen, and the supervisor was asking me how I am, like how do you feel? And that was something like nobody ever asked me how I feel. It was just so randomly. It was randomly, but so beautiful at the same time. It was
yeah.
something I never experienced before. And um, of course, the children's home also had bad times because,
Yeah.
I mean, it's logic because you are in a children's home with other kids that also are traumatized. So you kind of have fights with the other kids. It's just
Yeah.
nature because you all have your problems there. And when kids, when all the kids have problems, like sometimes the problems get too much in their head, and then they have to express it. So it's kind of logical. But I'm very thankful that I got into this children's home, and that they were good to me and careful to me. So
Did you ever get to see your grandma again? Or
yes, um, like when I was 11 or 12, um, my mom said I could visit my grandma, and then I went there for a week, but or two, I can't remember, but it didn't went that well. Um, and then I don't know, like when I went into the children's home, she kind of get notice of it 1 year later, and then she called me, and then she told me that she was in a children's home too. So that
oh,
kind of got us close again. Um, but there was still the distance of the 800 kilometers. And then when I was 19 and I graduated from school, I got the chance to go to university, and I decided to go back to my hometown, to Lübeck, to study there. Um, so then I saw my grandma again. Um, but first of all, it was super different than before.
yeah.
And like she was, or she is a broken, hold on a second. She's a broken woman. Um, like first time I came to her, like she has her dogs. She loves her dogs, like these little Chihuahua kind of dogs. I'm actually I love cats and dogs and pets in general. Like I'm very open to them and I love them. But I came there and I was sitting there on the couch on the sofa, and then these little Chihuahua dogs were climbing on me the entire time, and like I don't know what was, but they were kind of smelly, you know. They were kind of
Yeah.
smelly like dog, and a bit um, kind of fatty, like when you know the hair when your hair is kind of um, when you don't wash your hair
Yeah.
gets after yeah, and so the dogs were kind of smelly and like this, and so after a while I put the dogs down from my knees because I thought, okay, that's enough now. Um, and when the next time when I was riding with my grandma for calling, she said I can't come again because I can't get along with her dogs, and she loves her dogs so much. So um, that was the next um, thing where I was kind of abandoned. Like she didn't want me to come again because of her dogs.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah.
Do you think there's a piece of music that describes your personality? Either something you've wrote or something you've listened to?
I also thought a lot about that question. Um, I actually wanted to say that um, like in general, I think there is a lot of shit music out there, but I think there are also a few gems that are really, really great out
Yeah.
there that got me into music making. Um, but I really think I can't choose one because there are, if I choose one, then I would disrespect the other one. Like I'm so deep into music that I say I can't take this one over this one. So so I would change the question maybe to um, probably something completely different. Like, is there an anime that you can relate to? And I would 100% say it's Naruto. I don't know if you're into anime. Um,
I don't know
do
what
you
that
know?
I know what anime is, but I don't know what that specific creature is. No.
Okay. Um, okay, Naruto. Naruto is basically about a ninja fighter that has a devil inside him,
Oh.
and like his father put the devil inside him to save the village, and uh, because he has the devil inside him, everybody hates him, so he gets bullied, and after a while, um, he know or he notices the devil inside him, and the journey is about to get along with the devil and to use the power of the devil, and then he kind of um, like how to describe it. He is using what makes him weak to get to get strong. Like he's using
Hmm.
his weakness to get strong, and that's what the story is about. So that's what I'm basically doing with my music. Like I'm using my music to express what I like to express, all the subconscious pain that I have, that I experienced. So I think that's basically the same story um,
Hmm.
interpreted.
Is there an element of nature that you relate to?
Yes, water, like water is an element, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, um, because since I'm here, I'm swimming every day in the pool.
Oh, okay.
Um, like we have a big pool here down there, and every time before I swim, before I make music, I swim there. Um, kind of clean my mind. Um, it's also like feeling like when you're just floating, you're feeling like in space, and it's just it feels like yeah, it feels like cleaning yourself, and like you're surrounded. Every part of your body is surrounded by water, and
Yeah.
feels like it feels like you're complete. You're kind of, oh my God, that is getting deep, but it's like you're getting kind of wanted because every part of your body is in water and there's no space between you and the water, and it's like there is a um like when I was coming into the children's home, um I started to write a lot, like poems and rap and stuff like this, and there's a line I wrote. It was kind of course, in German, but it was kind of every day I'm showering because I want to feel the warmth, like not to clean myself, but to feel the warmth of somebody hugging me or kind of like this. And it's
Hmm.
this kind of feeling that probably it's I don't know, it sounds super weird, but also super deep at the same time. Like I think deep inside me, I just miss being hugged,
Oh,
like
yeah.
and and like just being accepted completely. And when I'm in the water, it's like I'm just in the water and the water surrounds me. The water is also pressing on your body a bit. It just feels like a hug, kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's true. It's very comforting, especially, I mean, if you've ever been in like a hot tub where the water is really hot,
Yeah, yeah,
that feels really nice too.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Do you is there somebody like a musician or someone in life now that you look up to?
Um, I'm not really looking up to somebody, but I'm getting inspired a lot.
Okay.
Um, because I think everybody um, is talented in some ways,
Yeah.
and everybody has some flaws. Like um, you could say I'm a talented musician, but if you would know how many hours I'm practicing and crafting and doing and working on the music, then you probably wouldn't say it's talent. So um, life is also, in my opinion, about opportunity. Um, like I was like in order to survive my trauma, um, it's probably important to mention here. I think like when I got into the children's home, my supervisor said um, it's actually kind of impossible um, to still be so healthy like me when you experienced what I have experienced. Because they said in real life there is no such thing like Harry Potter, like living with the Dursleys. Like you know Harry Potter? Okay, so like there's no thing like Harry Potter. Like if you live 10 years with people then that don't love you, then you don't get out of that healthy and with a healthy mind, or like kind of not crazy like or insane. Like you have to have usually some serious issues.
Yeah.
Um, but they said I got out of that pretty luckily, and the reason for that is because when I was 4 or 5, I wanted to become a football star, and so I played football so many times that like I was on the football place hours, days, completely alone, shooting the ball against a metal fence
Mm.
um, to practice and to get better. And I was so good at it because I practiced so much. Like I didn't had any friends in the village, so I was even there when I was 10 to 15 or 8 to 15. And I played there alone, and that was my goal. Like I always, when my mom beat me and told me that I'm worthless, then I literally went to the football place and I was playing football. And I told myself, I will show you. I will show you. Um, and I was actually pretty good, but the thing is, it didn't work out because my mom just she wanted to forbid me everything that makes me happy. So of course, um, she forbid me then every second half of the year to play football in the
Mm.
club um, um, because my grades were not good enough. Yeah, what a bullshit. And so, yeah, even when I was in the children's home and she actually didn't have any rights anymore on me, um, she still was able 1 year to hold me back from joining the club in the new children's home city,
Mm.
um, because she simply didn't want me to have fun. So I had to speak to the government institution stuff for 1 year to get a permission, to get the official permission to join a club. And
Oh wow.
yeah, I mean, in professional football, it's like you need to have the support from your parents, and everything has to work perfectly in order to achieve your goals to become a professional. So at that point, there was just no chance anymore for me. But
Mm.
so that's what I talked. That's what I mentioned, opportunity, because people that I could look up to, probably the most successful footballers, um, they got the opportunity at one time. So there are a lot of talented people that put the same amount of work um, until 15, 16, 17, um,
Mm.
but they didn't get the opportunity to show them. So life is a lot about luck, in my opinion. It's
Mm.
about where you are born, what are your parents doing, how you get supported, what is your surrounding environment. Um, of course, you can even the the poorest guy in poverty can get rich and happy. But it's a lot about luck, in my opinion, um, and also about not giving up. Uh, so there's not really someone I'm looking up to because I know someone in their life got them the opportunity, if it was the
Mm.
parents or whatever. Um, but lately, I'm getting inspired by female skateboarders. Um,
Mm.
it sounds super weird, but skateboarding is actually man-dominated sports, like you could say. If you go to a skateboarding park, like most of the guys usually um, are men or
Yeah.
boys. So I mean, it kind of gets better now, but um, a while ago it was very difficult, I think, for women to get into skateboarding, and then it is how it is. I just found a girl very pretty, and she was skateboarding, and then I thought, oh, okay, she's going on tournaments. I could watch a tournament. It is how it is. I just watched it because she was pretty, um, and then I looked at the other girls, and like the difference between men and women at that time was like a couple of years ago was super super obvious,
Yeah.
but um, but it also was kind of inspiring because even though they're technically not as good as the men, they're still giving the best. And it's like, I don't know if you ever saw a skateboarding tournament, but it's basically, for example, 45 seconds, and you have to make the most tricks as
Mm.
possible without screwing up. So so you in that moment and these 45 seconds, you have to get everything on that you were working on in the last weeks or months. Um, so everything counts in these 45 seconds. And you can see, even though they're not technically advanced as the man, they're still giving everything. And
Mm.
that was really, really inspiring. And then there came this wonder kid, Raisa Leal. She's from Brazil, and I don't know, she was 12 or 11 when she was competing on her first tournament, and the other girls were like 18, 19,
Oh,
and I
wow.
think she yeah, and she got on her first tournament. I think she got on the podium directly, and that's why I'm calling her Wonder Kid because she's so incredibly good, and like she's incredible. And I don't know, she's 16 now, 15, 16, and she's still winning it and winning it and winning it. And she's so good, it's almost annoying. Like,
Mm.
so I'm not rooting anymore for her because like the odds that she's winning, it's mostly like normal that she will win. So I'm rooting like for some other girls that like, hey, maybe yeah, she's actually good. Maybe she can win this time. So Funa Nakayama, for example, is one good example. She's from Japan, and she's also what, 18 now, and I think she got a few wins. Like, yeah, I'm to cut that um, topic. Like, I'm inspired by some of these girls, or in general, like from the underdog that wins.
Yeah. So then I know you were mentioning life a little bit. What is the meaning of life to you then?
Mm, I mean, it's a difficult question. I guess everybody will answer something else. Um, I thought about saying the obvious stuff like um, the meaning of life is something like giving life meaning, like something like that. But I actually think there's a good quote from a German rapper. It's like life means um, life means not forgetting to smile when you are crying. So I think that is meaning of life. Like even when you're so sad and when you're done, try. It's okay to be sad, but try to value your downs so you can value your ups. Um, it sounds super cliche, I know, but it's just I wouldn't I if I had like my parents had a big house, they had lots of money. Um, the house was valued at I don't know 1 million whatever. So they have a lot of cars. Um, but I didn't had love. And if I had a better childhood, I wouldn't be able to value what I have like I do right
Mm.
now. Like I really with my music, I never had anybody that like a big guy that shared my stuff or anybody. Like I worked my way to the top by myself, completely by myself. Like I was putting in the hours and I was super depressed. I did everything by myself. Um, and yeah, I forgot the question.
Oh, the meaning of life. So you're saying that you think it's valuing the times that are hard so that the good times can be better, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a favorite book that you like to read?
Book. Yeah, it's probably not what you would expect. Like a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, The Alchemist" and stuff like this from Paulo Coelho. But I read that book and I actually found it quite boring, to be honest. Um, mm, do you know? Like I read a lot of fantasy books
Mhm.
in my life when I was young. Do you know Aragon?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Did you read the books?
I didn't when I was growing up, but I had a lot of friends who did, and they liked it a
Mm,
lot.
mm. Like the movie was shit, but
Movies are
the
not
the
always as good as the books.
yeah, especially in that case. Like there's the second book where Aragon um like he was wounded pretty hard, like he was kind of disabled, and then he gets to the elves, um, and he's healing in their forest by meditating, and um, he kind of becomes an elf, and through that he through his meditation process he kind of feels the vibes of everything around him. Like he has to practice, and he's sitting in the forest, um, and there are these moments where he's getting better and better along with nature, and then he can probably through meditation he can feel the vibes of the little ants like 10 meters from him, and so he notices that everything in life is connected. Um, and through that he gets a consciousness about life, that everything is connected, and that you shouldn't harm each other. And that was so inspiring, that part of the book. It's only the first half of the part of the book.
Oh wow.
um, but it's so inspiring because he also stops eating meat through that, because he doesn't want to harm anybody. And that basically was very, very, very inspiring. And I think that book, um, it's probably not my favorite because I'm just a super Harry Potter fan. Like, sorry, Aragon, but I think Aragon is the most inspiring because just of that fact alone, that they are describing everything is connected, and the way they are talking about it, it's just super deep, but in a way even a kid can understand it. It's very, very great.
Yeah. Then do you eat meat? Or are you also like, was that inspiring to you in the sense of you also wanted to change your diet like Aragon?
Like, not because of Aragon. I think it was subconsciously um, about Aragon. Um, but there was a time, I don't know, when did I start? 7 years ago, kind of six
Okay.
6 years ago, with my ex-girlfriend. Mm, and I actually, one second. I actually just started with her when I was in a relationship with my ex-girlfriend. I don't know, you did I read that you are married? Probably.
I am married, yep.
Yes, I googled you a bit just to see if you're valid, because I get a lot of spam and everything. So I
I'm
had to do
sure.
my checks. Um, so you kind of can relate that, like when I was in a relationship with my ex-girlfriend at that time, um, I wanted to give us goals we can work on together. So I thought,
Yeah.
hey, what about getting vegan together? So when you get vegan, you have to get a lot of challenges, because
Yeah.
um, yeah, because you have to make burgers vegan, or no, vegetarian. Yeah, we got vegetarian, not vegan, sorry, vegetarian. So when you make vegetarian burgers, um, most of them don't taste good, to be honest. So you have to find ways to make them good. And that was one of the reasons I started this with her. So we have a goal to work on together and challenges together. Um, and then we broke up after 1 year, and I just kept going with being a vegetarian
Hmm.
and eating meat again. Yes, I'm guilty, but yeah.
So then, two last questions for you. One, what do you think makes life hard? Like just living, being alive. What is the hardest thing about that?
I thought also a lot about that question, and I know it sounds weird when I say I'm the last one that supports LGBTQ, because I support every human. Express yourself how you want, but I think, do you know John Peterson?
I I'm not sure. It sounds familiar, maybe.
Yeah, like the LGBTQ scene is very um, difficult, because right now there's a lot of money involved in that business, in that surgery business. Um, and in my opinion, you have to be super careful um, about, like, as a doctor or psychologist, um, who do you let, who are you letting, um, getting surgery. Like if like for example, I have a former friend, and he was kind of depressed and lost, and he decided to become a transgender, like a woman.
Hmm.
But he never ever mentioned, or I know it sounds super harsh for me, but I think just a lot of people in our society are lost and under a lot of pressure, and in order to escape that, they want to get a new um, identity. But the problem isn't their identity, it's that they are lost. So in order, like, it's the wrong treatment in my opinion. Like, if you really think you are a woman, fine, be a woman. It's or as a woman and you want to be a man, like be whatever you want. You can be a unicorn. But to treat the cause with something where a lot of people in the background, like surgery and everything, they're making so much money in this industry. Like, I don't remember the numbers, but I heard that they're making, I don't know, they're increasing the value, the industry value every
Hmm.
year about 3,000%, because like there are so many people making money of it. And that's why I'm saying, um to get to your question again, because I say, or I would say, life, or what makes life hard is because, or no, let me rephrase it. The fact that humans aren't acting fair is making life hard. Because, as I said, there are a lot of people in the industry, in the background, that want to earn money. So the psychologists prescribing that, whatever, because they also earn money, whatever. Um, and so I'm for equality. I'm 100% for equality. Like, give everybody the same chances. Like, um, there's this one meme where three um, animals are there. Like, there's a giraffe. Is it called giraffe? I don't know. Um, then a monkey, and I don't know, like three animals that have a different size.
Yeah.
And for the ape, you can get a chair, so the ape can climb on the chair and see over the wall. The giraffe doesn't need a chair because the giraffe can look over the wall by itself. So it's about equality. Give the people that need something what they can need. And the people that don't need something, they probably don't need something. Um, Support in special terms. Of course, everybody needs love, and but um, like, this is another thing. Like, it's so difficult nowadays to say something, because when I say I like blue, people say, "See, he doesn't like green." So it is how it is. It's so difficult nowadays to say,
Yeah.
like, this. I don't know how you will interpret it, because you could literally just say, "Suis Parte doesn't like transgender." That's what you could write. It is how it is. So
But that's
just
not
because I say one,
what you said though.
yeah, it is not, but it is what people could interpret.
I
So,
see. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I'm all in for equality. Like I said, give the monkey a chair so he can look over the wall. The giraffe doesn't need a chair to look over the wall. That's how it is. Um, so just be fair. Just be fair in life. Like, if somebody does a good job, reward them. If you don't like him, still reward him. Reward him. Like, it is. that's also probably one of the most important lessons that I learned in my life early on, that life isn't fair. It is just not fair. Um, you could work on it as a society, but there will always be people that probably just want to take advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like yeah. This I could talk for hours about the topic. It's like it's it's you always have like it's actually so sad that you have to think about everything that happens in life. You have to think about who's making money with it. If there is a war in Russia, you have to think who's making money with it. If America, if USA um, marches into Afghanistan, you have to ask yourself who's making the money there. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's super sad. Like,
And then last question, what what makes life beautiful? Like for you, why do you keep living? What do you enjoy most about it that makes it worth it to you?
I think 100% also for the long time about that question. I think harmony. Harmony is 100% what I would say, because like when you look, when there's a beautiful, what is sunset, is it in the evening?
Hmm.
Okay, when there's a beautiful sunset in the evening and the colors are getting like purple and everything, like it's it's so beautiful, it's harmonic. And when I see that, I get so inspired because of all the harmony out of nowhere. It's just there, and it makes me happy. It's harmony, like these frequency spectrums of the light, and they get splitted and just look so beautiful. It's just the way they're blending in. It's harmonic, it's harmony. And it's also when I make music, I mean, a lot of times it's just torturing myself, because listening 2,000 times to the same sad track to make it even more sad is a bit of torturing. But it's also harmony when I make something, when I create something, and I feel I feel like I can blend in. It's
Yeah.
completely, I don't know, it's like a puzzle, and you get the last piece of the puzzle and it just fits. So that's why I say harmony. And of course, harmony between people, like help each other, and be nice. It just sounds so random, but being nice in your environment can actually affect a lot of people. Like I was working when I started to make music, um, like professionally. I still had to work in a um, pizza shop for 2 years,
Hmm.
at night, next to a disco, next to a club. And of course, a lot of drunken people came there, and it was super exhausting. There were hooligans that wanted to beat me. Um, so it was super exhausting. But when I was working there were some people that was talking to me about the problems. Um, and there was this one guy, for example, he was telling me, yeah, I could go to that job interview, but I'm like, I really would like to do this, but I'm not sure if I can do this, if I'm able to do this. Then I was talking to him like, man, look at you. You're a cool guy. You're a really good guy. Like, if you want to do this, do it. Try it, man. Like, it's your life. Do it. If you want to do it, what stops you? And then next week, on the next weekend, he came to me and said, yeah, he got the job because I talked to him. And he was a stranger, He was a
Yeah.
stranger. So just be nice to each other. Cheer somebody up. Like, it doesn't cost you anything to say nice words. And I think a lot of people aren't able to do this because they are so stressed with themselves that
Yeah.
they just don't have enough energy to care about other people. So